Welcome to Master Your Money, Budgeting, Saving, and Debt-Free Living. I'm your host, Nate Tanner. On this show, we use the Triggator philosophy to help you keep your budget balanced, build your savings and investments, and knock out debt with confidence. Picture a triangle, 3 sides all connected, perfectly balanced. This is one of the strongest shapes in architecture. That's why it holds up bridges, towers, and roofs. Each side supports the other, and if you remove one, the whole thing collapses. That's what your financial foundation should look like. At Triggator, we call it the Triggator Triangle, and it's built on 3 pillars: budget, save, pay off debt. These aren't just financial buzzwords, they're systems of support. When you have all 3 in place, working together in harmony, you create stability. You gain clarity, you start moving forward without always feeling like you're falling behind. But when one side gets ignored or gets all the attention while the others suffer, that's when your plan starts to wobble. You might be saving like a champion, but living in chaos because you don't have a plan for your income. Or you're paying off debt aggressively, but leaving yourself exposed with no emergency fund. Or maybe you've got a spending plan, but there's no savings or debt progress happening. That's what we're going to talk about today. What the Triggator Triangle is, what happens when it's out of balance, how to bring it into harmony, and how this simple framework can change the way you manage your money. So whether you're just starting out or you're feeling stuck, it's time to stop seeing budgeting, saving, and debt payoff as separate things and start using them like the triangle they are, stronger together. What is the Triggator Triangle? It's simple. Budget, save, pay off debt. 3 actions, 3 outcomes, 1 system. On their own, each of these is helpful, but when you connect them, that's when the magic happens. Let's break it down. Number 1, budget, aka your spending plan. This is where it all starts. It's your blueprint. Budgeting isn't about saying no to everything, it's about saying yes to the right things. It gives your dollars direction. Without a spending plan, your money doesn't know what to do, and it usually disappears trying to figure it out. If you don't have a plan for your money, someone else definitely does. Just think about the last time you were binge watching YouTube or endlessly scrolling through Facebook. How many companies did you see out there with a plan for your money? In fact, try this. Open Facebook and check out your feed. Your first post is probably from a friend. Next, another friend post or something random that you may be interested in. If you're lucky, you might see a carousel of reels or friend suggestions next. But within 3 or 4 scrolls, bam, you're hit with an ad. Someone who has a plan for your dollars without direction. At Triggator, we don't do rigid budgets. We do spending plans that move with your paycheck and flex with your life. Number 2, save. Short-term, long-term, and peace of mind. Saving gives you breathing room. It's your peace of mind fund. It's your life happens fund. Whether it's an alligator fund, an emergency fund, or a savings goal, savings builds comfort into your plan. It helps you avoid relying on debt when stuff hits the fan, and it helps you sleep better at night. We start off savings with building your peace of mind funds, the alligator, emergency, and savings goal funds. As you begin to feel the peace of mind that they bring and your spending habits and mindset shift, you expand your savings to retirement and investment funds for long-term security and wealth building. Number 3, pay off debt, breaking the chains. Debt keeps you tied to your past. Every dollar you send to a lender is a dollar that can't go towards your future. Paying off debt is how you reclaim your income and your options. At Triggator, we don't pay off debt by accident. We do it with intention, based on a plan that starts with budgeting and is powered by the margin created through savings. Think of this. If you had no debt, how much would you free up for investing, aka wealth building, and for retirement, that long-term security that we all need? The magic is in the interconnection. Here's where it all comes together. You budget so you know where your money is going, and you can save and pay off debt with intention. You save so that you don't go into debt the next time something unexpected pops up, and you feed your gators to keep your spending plan solid. You pay off debt so you can save more and budget with freedom. It's not do one, then move on to the next. As everyone's favorite Okinawan, Mr. Miyagi famously said, lesson not just karate only, lesson for whole life. Whole life, have a balance, everything be better. It's about doing all three at the same time, in balance, in harmony. That's the Triggator Triangle. In the next section, we'll show you what happens when the triangle gets out of balance, because odds are you've been there. What happens when it gets out of balance? Think of your Triggator Triangle like a three-legged stool. Budget, save, pay off debt. If all three legs are solid, you can sit down, breathe, and feel stable. But take one leg away or make one leg longer than the others, and now you're leaning, wobbling, or flat on your back. Let's talk about what that looks like in real life. Example 1, budgeting without saving or paying off debt. You've got a spending plan, you track every dollar, you color code your spreadsheets, you have envelopes labeled with little emojis, it's beautiful. But if that budget doesn't include saving or debt payoff, you're standing still. You're telling your money where to go, but you're not building anything. You're the tour guide, but you forgot the bus. Your financial journey is in an endless traffic circle. You will find yourself with the same situation you are in today. Still in debt, still no peace of mind. One thing you can't make more of? Time. So let's use the time we have to move forward and exit the cycle. Example 2, saving without budgeting. You think you've got a solid savings. You're great at stashing cash, but you don't actually know where your money is going week to week or month to month. So what happens? You save, and then oops, I forgot that was due. You just got bit by an alligator, my friend. Without a plan to keep the gators fed, that beautiful savings balance evaporates. You feel like you're constantly starting over. Saving without a plan is like filling a bathtub with no drain plug. You pour in effort, but it never holds. Example 3, paying off debt without saving. You're throwing everything at your debt, and the progress feels amazing until the tire blows, or the dog eats something weird, or your kid tells you they need new cleats, a uniform, and $125 for tournament fees tomorrow. With no savings, you go right back to the credit card. You're paying it off just in time to charge it back up. It's like trying to dig out of a hole while someone's still dumping dirt on your head. Imbalance isn't always intentional, but it's always costly. Most of us don't get out of balance because we're reckless. We do it because we're trying hard to fix one thing, but we forget the system. The Triggator Triangle keeps us from obsessing over one goal and ignoring the rest. It's about progress in all three directions at the same time in proportion with your reality. A quick life lesson on balance. One of the great lessons my dad taught me was very Miyagi-ish. It was about balance, not just in money, but in life. He said there are 5 major life categories: physical, intellectual, financial, spiritual, and social. And life works best when you're tending to all 5 without letting one crowd out the others. And the goal isn't to let one area dominate while the others suffer. If we put too much emphasis on our social standing, we might lose our spiritual footing. If we chase intellectual accomplishments, our physical health might suffer. Remember those all-night college study sessions? I do, and they didn't feel good in the morning. We need goals for all areas, working in harmony. Your finances is no different. The Triggator Triangle brings budgeting, saving, and debt payoff into harmony so that you can stand tall and move forward with confidence. Coming up next, I'll give you some simple guidelines to help you keep your triangle in balance without needing a degree in trigonometry. How to stay in harmony. So how do you actually keep your Triggator Triangle in balance? The answer isn't some fancy ratio or a budgeting formula pulled from a textbook. It's about intentionality and alignment with your goals. Use the triangle as a filter. Anytime you're making a money decision, especially a big one, run it through this filter. Ask yourself, does this support my spending plan? Budget. Does it allow me to put money aside? Save. Does it help me pay off debt or at least avoid adding more? Pay off debt. The goal isn't to check all three boxes with every single transaction. It's to make sure you're not ignoring one corner of the triangle for too long. It's not about equal pieces. It's about intentional proportions. Some months as you're starting out, your triangle might tilt more towards saving, like prepping for back to school or holidays while you build your alligator fund. Other months, maybe the focus is hard on debt because you've got some snowflake money coming. If you don't remember what snowflake money is, go back a few episodes. The key is to adjust with intention, not out of reaction. We don't need a rigid formula like the old school 50-30-20 rule. Honestly, that one drives me nuts. Just because you make more money doesn't mean you should automatically spend 50% of it on lifestyle upgrades or a bigger house. At Triggator, we don't let percentages tell us what we deserve. We use our plan to tell our money what to do based on solid principles, good money habits, and proper financial mindset. You are the one in control of your money. You can always rebalance as needed. Think of your triangle as a mobile over a crib. It sways, it shifts, but it stays connected. When you feel stress in your finances, check your triangle. Are you tracking what's coming in and going out? Budget. Do you have a buffer between you and life? Save. Are you making progress towards freedom? Pay off debt. Even a quick 10-minute monthly review of your triangle can make a huge difference on how confident and in control you feel. Next up, I'll share a listener story that shows exactly how this triangle works in real life, how someone went from stuck to steady by getting their financial legs back under them. Framework Spotlight, the triangle in action. Let me introduce you to someone. We'll call her Amanda. She was working full-time, never was married, and lived with her aging mother and disabled sister. Amanda's triangle was out of balance. Amanda had a few financial troubles. Her kind nature led her to massive debt, several maxed out credit cards, retail debt, a car loan, and so forth. She lived rent-free with few financial obligations other than her debt. She spent like crazy and judged many things by the payment on her debt. She was saving for retirement, solid move, and she sort of had a budget, but it mostly meant glancing at her account balance and pulling out a credit card if the balance was too low. Does that sound familiar? Amanda was just out of balance. What she changed? She started with her spending plan. She broke it into paycheck-sized chunks and made space for the essentials, including feeding the gators. Next, she created her alligator fund. She gave her dollars jobs. As a great gift giver, she set a limit for each person and occasion, then started putting money aside. My nieces and nephews fund. This is for Christmas. Oh yeah, and my neighbors need a Valentine's gift as well. Then she cut up the cards. Now, with her peace of mind savings fund, she didn't need them and had a solid plan. She was able to attack her debt to a level she previously never had thought of. The result? Within a few months, Amanda had made more progress than she had in the past year. Not because she had more money, but because her triangle was finally working together. Amanda eventually was able to pay off all her debt, still be the great gift giver that gave her so much joy, and have the peace of mind that she craved. That's the power of this framework. Budget, save, pay off debt. In harmony. Not all at once, not perfectly, but intentionally. Coming up next, I'll wrap up this episode with a quick recap and a simple challenge. All right, let's bring it home. Today, we broke down the Triggator Triangle, the three legs that keep your financial life balanced. Budget, save, pay off debt. You saw what happens when one leg is missing or overextended, and how bringing them into harmony can create the financial stability you are looking for. It's not about doing it all perfectly, it's about doing it on purpose. Your challenge, run a triangle check. I want you to do a simple self-assessment. Take 15 minutes and ask yourself, am I actually using a spending plan that moves with my paychecks? Am I saving for real-life expenses, not just someday emergencies? Am I making progress on debt, or just circling around the same balances. You don't have to do all three perfectly and in sync right now, but if you're ignoring one entirely, it's time to take one small step towards balance. Whether it's opening a new savings account for your gators, cutting a subscription and sending that money to your debt, or finally sitting down to write your next paycheck plan, pick one thing. Just a quick thought. If you overcorrect a car at speed, what happens? You spin out of control. Instead, slow down, make smooth, intentional moves. One intentional step towards balance is better than 100 frantic steps in several directions that could leave you spinning out of control. As always, I'd love to hear from you. Email me at podcast@triggator.com with your triangle check, a win, or even a struggle. Let's walk this journey together. And if this episode helped you, share it. Text it to a friend, post it on social, or send it to that one coworker who's great with spreadsheets but still wondering where all their money goes. We're here every weekday, and Monday kicks off a brand new week of money mindset, strategy, and real-life financial wins. So come back Monday and bring a friend. You don't want to miss what's coming next. I'm Nate Tanner, and this is Master Your Money, Budgeting, Saving, and Debt-Free Living. See you Monday.